The Jacksonville Jaguars could have something of a logjam brewing in their backfield. Travis Etienne currently sits at the top of the depth chart, but he can't possibly be considered a lock to maintain the job. Etienne struggled in 2024 and ceded work to Tank Bigsby. Bigsby was much improved as a runner after a poor showing in his rookie season in 2023. Most notably, the team added Bhayshul Tuten in the 4th round of this year's draft to join Etienne and Bigsby. Despite having lower draft capital than both, Tuten has a great chance to carve out a role given the question marks around this backfield. So, for fantasy purposes, which of these backs, if any, should be on your radar for the 2025 season? As already mentioned, Etienne appears, for now, to be the starter coming into the year. The former first-round pick is less than 2 years removed from an RB3 overall fantasy finish, but he simply wasn't good in 2024. Etienne finished with just 150 carries for 558 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in 15 games played. Good for a measly 3.7 yards per carry average. He caught 39 passes, which is solid, but he only turned that into 254 scoreless receiving yards. On one hand, new head coach Liam Cohen comes over from Tampa Bay and will install a new offense. The Bucs finished 3rd in yards and 4th in touchdowns scored in 2024, so the arrow is pointing up for Jacksonville's offense. And Etienne has a very affordable ADP, so it's possible you get a starting back in the 9th or 10th round of your draft. On the other hand, there's always concern about new head coaches and how they intend to utilize players that they inherited as opposed to those they brought in themselves. And after last year's results, Etienne didn't exactly do himself any favors to earn additional work this year. His best case scenario is he holds off both Bigsby and Tuten as a runner and receiver, but it seems unlikely he'll do so to the tune of a bell cow workload, especially considering Bigsby's growth as a runner. Part of the reason Etienne lost so many carries is because Bigsby simply earned more work. He actually out-carried Etienne, accumulating 168 carries for 766 rushing yards and 7 rushing touchdowns last year. That's good for 4.5 yards per carry, which is rock solid. He did very little as a receiver, with only 7 catches, so maybe we don't expect too much from Bigsby in that department. Etienne is likely to remain the favorite for 3rd down work, but Bigsby can't be discounted as the potential favorite for early down work going into his 3rd NFL season. So, where does that leave the rookie Tuten to get involved? Again, Tuten joins the team as a day 3 pick, but he was one of the first picks of the 4th round, so the investment by the team is a noteworthy one. Tuten played his final 2 collegiate seasons at Virginia Tech, clearing 1,000 scrimmage yards both years. In his senior season, Tuten ran the ball 183 times for 1,159 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns. He caught 23 passes, but only for 81 receiving yards. He was actually more impressive his junior season as a receiver, catching 27 passes for 239 yards in 2023. So he has some versatility to his game, but obviously in his first NFL season, it might be a bit much to expect him to consistently spell Bigsby as a runner or Etienne as a receiver. He was a selection by the new coaching staff, though, so they'll be motivated to get their guy on the field if they feel he's ready. As it currently stands on Underdog Fantasy, the rookie Tuten is actually the most expensive pick with an ADP of 116. That's followed by Etienne with an ADP of 122 and Bigsby with an ADP of 150. In these scenarios where early on it's anybody's guess how things shake out, my approach is to just target the cheapest guy. And in this instance, I think you're getting solid bang for your buck by taking your shot on Tank Bigsby this year. He proved to be the superior runner to Etienne, and now going into his 3rd year, has some solid experience to lean on that Tuten doesn't have as a rookie. While you aren't breaking the bank drafting any one of these guys, Bigsby can be had 3 or 4 rounds later than his backfield teammates, and therefore offers the most cost-effective upside. Bigsby is my official suggestion as the Jaguars running back to target for fantasy in 2025, over Travis Etienne and Bhayshul Tuten. Tuten is enticing and a top 5 rookie running back based on landing spot and draft capital, but he's probably best suited as a target for dynasty managers who are willing to be patient.